Hi, I'm Leo, 25, middle child, and apparently the family scapegoat. Last Christmas confirmed what I'd suspected for years. I was never getting out of this hierarchy alive. We all knew Christmas was her day. My sister, Serena, the golden child since birth. It was like God personally dusted her with glitter and said, "You win." She always got the biggest gifts, the loudest praise, the last slice of pie. Me? I got socks. The itchy kind. But even I wasn't ready for this. I was halfway through unwrapping a flat, badly wrapped rectangle from my mom that said, "To Leo, love Mom," in Sharpa when I heard the screaming. Not bad screaming. Giddy, spoiled princess in a Hallmark commercial screaming. "Oh my God, is this for me?" Serena shouted. We all turned. Outside the window, parked like a throne on our snow-covered driveway, was a brand-new Lexus LX. Jet black. Tan leather interior. A gold bow the size of a small child sat on top. Dad smiled like he just handed over Excalibur. "You earned it, sweetheart." Serena did a spin. "I knew it. I knew you guys were acting weird yesterday. Check the trunk." Mom clapped. While she ran out screaming again, I peeled the last of my wrapping paper off my own gift. It was a mug. Ceramic. White. It said, "Just brew it," with a swoosh under it. I looked up. Mom raised her eyebrows and nodded like she just blessed me with wisdom from the gods. "Be grateful. Life is fair." I couldn't even blink. "Fair?" She said that to my face, with my sister still shrieking outside because her brand new luxury SUV had a built-in mini fridge. We had brunch. Serena drove us in her car to pick up takeout like a victory lap. I held my mug the whole time like it was a charity donation I was too polite to return. Later that night, around 2 a.m., I couldn't sleep. Not because of the mug. Or the car. But because I realized something that hurt more. They weren't even trying to pretend anymore. So I got up. Quiet. Calm. And I left something behind. Something they didn't expect. Then I walked out the front door without a sound. Next morning? Let's just say when Mom saw what I'd done, she absolutely lost it. When I left the house that night, I wasn't angry. Not even sad. I felt clean. Like I'd finally shed a skin that had been itching for decades. But I didn't just walk out. I left a little surprise behind. Before I go into that, let me rewind the clock for context. Growing up, my sister's birthday parties had DJs and ice sculptures. Mine? Once I got a sheet cake with "Happy Birthday, Leah" on it. They spelled my name wrong. I was 11. By high school, Serena was the family's pride and joy. Every time she breathed, Mom practically called the local news. Serena got into cheer. Serena made honor roll. Serena blinked and looked graceful doing it. Meanwhile, I once brought home a math trophy and was told, "Well, it's not varsity football." So by the time Christmas rolled around this year, I had zero expectations. But something about the way Mom said, "Life is fair," while my sister's new car key chirped from her pocket, sparked something different. And so, before I left, I went into Serena's room. Now, I'm no monster. I didn't slash tires or set anything on fire. I just rearranged a few things. Took the Lexus manual out of her glove compartment and hid it behind the washing machine. Unscrewed every light bulb in her vanity mirror. Switched her phone charger with one that only charges to 3%. A few subtle inconveniences. The kind that make you think you're losing your mind. But the piece de resistance? I took the gold bow. You know, the one on her brand new $120,000 SUV. And I stuck it, perfectly centered, on the toilet lid in the guest bathroom, with a note that said, "Life is fair." Then I walked out with just my backpack and the mug. I even sipped from it as I walked to the bus stop. Like I was in a coming-of-age movie, except with way worse lighting. I spent the night at an old college friend's place. Slept on his lumpy couch, half wondering if I'd regret it. Spoiler, I didn't. The next morning, my phone exploded. Missed calls. Screaming voicemails. Serena sounding like someone just unplugged her from the simulation. And then Mom called. "Leo, what did you do?" Her voice was pure rage and confusion. And I, calm as ever, sipping weak gas station coffee out of my stupid mug, replied, "Oh, just giving back some of that fairness you love so much." Click. By noon, I had 47 unread messages. Serena had texted me, "WTF. 6 times in a row, each angrier than the last, until she finally resorted to a paragraph that looked like it was written during a nervous breakdown. Something about disrespecting the spirit of the holiday, how could you humiliate me? And this is why you'll always be alone. Mom's texts were more theatrical. You ruined Christmas. Your sister was in tears. You've always been jealous of her success. How dare you touch her things? We gave you a mug because you never appreciate anything. That one made me laugh out loud. But the rail bomb dropped at 1:17 p.m. When I got a single, icy message from my father. You're no longer welcome in this house. Now, you might think that would hurt. And maybe a few years ago, it would have. But when I read it, something in me clicked into place. Like a loose screw finally tightening. See, the thing about being the family disappointment your whole life is that eventually, it becomes your superpower. You stop expecting approval. And once you stop chasing their love, they have no more power over you. Still, they weren't done. Because about an hour later, Serena went nuclear. She posted a story on Instagram tagging me and the Lexus. Imagine being so bitter you vandalize your own sister's Christmas gift. Jealousy is an ugly look, Leo. Hope that $5 mug keeps you warm while you rot. And oh boy, it backfired. What Serena didn't count on was that a lot of our mutuals remembered how she used to treat me. The people from school who watched her shove me out of family photos or make me sit at the kids' table at my own graduation party. One girl, Jenna, reposted Serena's story with a comment. Didn't you once fake cry so Leo would give you his birthday money? Sit down. Another guy added. This you? Bragging about getting your brother's laptop for Christmas cause he didn't deserve it? Within hours, Serena's comments were a mess. People were calling her out. Telling her she was the real problem. Some even DM'd me, saying they were proud of me for finally snapping. And me? I was sitting in a quiet park, watching ducks fight over breadcrumbs, reading it all with my $5 mug in hand. But the biggest twist came when I got a DM request from someone I never expected. Dad's older brother. Uncle Rob. The family's black sheep. The guy they never let us talk to. Leo. I saw what happened. I've been where you are. If you need a place to land for a while, I've got a guest room. And a lot to tell you. Turns out, I wasn't the first one this family exiled. But I might be the first one ready to burn the whole hierarchy down. I showed up to Uncle Rob's house just after 5 p.m. The next day, backpack slung over one shoulder, still gripping that dumb mug like it was a piece of emotional armor. His place was nothing like my parents' manicured suburban palace. It was older, worn, warm in a way I didn't realize I needed. The welcome mat said go away, but he opened the door before I could knock. Figured you'd take me up on it, he said, nodding once like he'd been waiting 25 years for this exact moment. I hadn't seen Uncle Rob in nearly a decade. My parents called him unstable and dramatic, which, in hindsight, should have been my first clue he was probably the most honest person in the family. He used to show up to family dinners with gifts he'd clearly picked out himself, personal stuff that actually said, I see you. I still have the notebook he gave me when I was 15. No one else noticed I liked writing. He hadn't changed much. Same messy salt and pepper hair, same untucked flannel. But his eyes? Sharper than I remembered. Let me guess, he said, stepping aside so I could enter. They gave your sister a car and you a participation trophy? I held up the mug. He laughed so hard I thought he'd choke. Of course they did. Your mother always did have a talent for the softest cruelty. We sat in his kitchen over instant ramen and cheap beer, and for the first time in years, I let someone actually ask me how I was. Not out of politeness. Like they meant it. I'm just tired, Rob, I said finally. Tired of pretending it doesn't get to me. Like I don't notice the double standards. Like I should be grateful to even exist in the same house. He nodded slowly. That's how they break you, kid. They make you doubt what you see. They gaslight you with politeness and backhanded affection until you're convinced you're the problem. Then he leaned back and stared at the ceiling like he was watching a movie only he could see. Want to hear something fun? He said, cracking his knuckles. Your mom pulled the same exact stunt on me. Christmas, 1992. Serena wasn't even born yet. I asked for a guitar. She gave me socks and a note that said, music isn't practical. That night, I played Smoke on the Water on a guitar I bought myself, in a motel room in Reno, and left town. She told everyone I snapped. Truth is, I finally woke up. I blinked. Wait. You're telling me, the exile thing. This is like repeating history? Like clockwork, he said. That night, I lay in the guest room staring at the popcorn ceiling, heart thudding like a bass drum. Something had cracked wide open in me. Not just rebellion. Clarity. They did this to him too. And he got out. Which meant maybe I wasn't broken. Maybe I was just the only one finally seeing it. The next morning, I posted a photo. Me, holding my mug, standing in front of a beat-up red Ford in Rob's driveway. Caption. Turns out I did get a car for Christmas. It just came with truth, beer, and freedom. Serena messaged me within 5 minutes. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop playing the victim. This time, I didn't respond. Instead, I messaged Uncle Rob. You ever think about getting revenge? He sent back one word. Always. And thus began the plan. Step 1? Leverage what they cared about most, appearances. Because the thing about being ignored your whole life is, you see everything they think you're too dumb to notice. The passwords they never change. The private group chats on the family iPad. The way Serena always lies about her finances. And thanks to a little Christmas cleaning spree I did before I left, I had receipts. Literal ones. Bank statements. Messages. And a secret loan document in Mom's email that would send serious tremors through her social circle if it ever saw the light of day. You don't go back for revenge, Rob said over pancakes the next morning. You make them invite you back, thinking they're in control. Then you flip the script. So we got to work. Christmas was over. But this story? Just warming up. We called it Operation Gold Bow. Step 1, let the silence sink in. Give the family just enough time to settle back into their delusions, convinced I was off sulking in a basement somewhere, licking my wounds with nothing but a novelty mug and a bad attitude. Let them think they'd won. Meanwhile, Rob and I were making a spreadsheet that could destroy every carefully curated facade my family had ever built. It started with Serena. She had a history of being aspirational, which is code for financially reckless. I remembered a conversation 2 Christmases ago, her gushing about a new designer bag while whispering to Mom that she'd, accidentally, maxed out her credit cards and needed a small loan to tide her over. Mom had cut her a check faster than you could say. Enablement. Well, guess what? That designer bag? Still paying it off. In fact, thanks to the family iPad's autofill, I now had access to her entire financial breakdown. Rob helped me pull her credit report with her birthday and old address. Her Lexus? Not paid in full. She was on a brutal 72-month payment plan, monthly payments the size of my rent, with a co-signer, Dad. We also found an email from Serena to Mom labeled delete after reading. Which, spoiler, she didn't. Inside? A confession. If Dad sees the Chanel statement, just say it was part of the Lexus package. I'll move some stuff around before he notices. Also, I might have used Leo's SSN to pre-qualify for the car, but I didn't go through with it, so it's fine. LOL. LOL indeed. So yeah? Identity theft. Casual. Festive. Rob leaned back from the screen like he just watched a man slip on a banana peel and land in court. That's not just petty, he said. That's illegal. Think I should report it? I asked. Not yet, he said. First, we let her sweat. Step 2, infiltration. We made a new social media account, fake name, vague profile. We called him Jordan Whitmore. Jordan slid into Serena's DMs claiming he was starting a luxury lifestyle podcast and wanted to interview young moguls with influence. She bit faster than a trout on a worm. They set a Zoom date. We watched her try to act like she wasn't in the guest room of our parents' house. She told Jordan she ran her own fashion consultancy and had a multi-stream income portfolio, which was a fancy way of saying she sold barely worn heels on Poshmark and reposted quotes about manifesting abundance. We recorded the whole thing. Step 3? The slow leak. Rob and I made a burner Gmail. We created a private newsletter, called Holiday Reflections. One by one, we sent it to family friends, church acquaintances, Mom's wine club, even Dad's golf buddy, Glenn. Each email included a quote from Serena's interview, one revealing screenshot, and a cheerful little sign-off. It's always inspiring to see what the next generation is capable of. Especially when it's creative accounting. By the third email, we were getting forwarded screenshots back from people we hadn't even contacted. Apparently, someone had printed them out and brought them to New Year's brunch. Cue chaos. Mom called on the 4th day of the leak, her voice shaking. Leo, I know you've been upset. Understatement of the year. But things are being taken out of context, and now your sister, is being harassed online. She's also being investigated by her lender. I replied, calmly flipping through Rob's collection of outdated Sears catalogs. You need to stop this. Mom snapped. Now. Or I'll. You'll what? I said. Give me another mug? Dead silence. Then, quietly. We didn't know you felt this way. And there it was. The beginning of the walk back. That night, Serena emailed me directly. No LOL this time. I get it, okay? You made your point. Can we please just talk? I didn't respond. Yet. Because the finale wasn't ready. See, Rob still had one more trick up his sleeve. He pulled out a dusty old photo album from a locked drawer in his desk. They think I disappeared because I couldn't handle life, he said, flipping through pages. Truth is, I walked away because I found out what they did to me. What your mom did. And I couldn't pretend anymore. He pointed to a photo of my grandfather holding a baby. That's you, I said. Nope, he said. That's you? I stared at him. What? He looked at me, eyes gleaming. Time to tell you who you really are, Leo. You're not my uncle, I said slowly, heart thudding like a dropped drum. Are you? Rob didn't flinch. He just sat back, steepled his fingers, and let that heavy truth hang in the air like smoke. Legally, sure, he said. But biologically? I'm your father. My hands went cold around the mug. That mug. My $5 ceramic symbol of familial disrespect was suddenly the least insane part of my entire existence. Your what? He nodded. Your mother and I, back in college, we were a thing. A very intense, very hidden thing. Your dad, the man who just disowned you via text message, was her fiancé at the time. She got pregnant with you during a complicated window. I stood there, mind blank, body buzzing, the same way it feels when you're about to step off a curb and realize a car is coming too fast. She told me my name came from a French poet she liked. I said. Rob laughed. Nope. Leonard Cohen. I played him on repeat the day she told me. The photo album was open between us. There I was, pudgy and squinting, in the arms of a younger Rob. Same eyes. Same weird bent nose. Same ears that stuck out like satellite dishes. The resemblance I'd never seen before in my supposed family? It was right here. Why didn't you fight? I asked, voice cracking. Why did you just disappear and let him raise me? I did fight, he said. She shut me out. Said I'd ruin her future. Said I'd confuse you. Said I didn't have what it takes to be a father. He looked away. And maybe she was right. I was a wreck. But I watched from a distance. Every birthday, every school photo she posted. I knew the moment you got your braces off. I knew when you shaved your head in 9th grade and hated it. I even sent you the damn writing contest flyer in high school. The one you won. The one she never mentioned again. I sat down, slowly, like gravity had tripled. That story? I said. You really read it? He nodded. You've always had the truth in you. Just needed someone to say, I see it too. It was too much. The golden child. The car. The mug. The exile. Now this? I didn't even realize I was crying until he slid a napkin across the table. You're telling me, I whispered, that the people who always treated me like an afterthought were keeping this from me the whole time? Oh, Leo, Rob said. You were never the afterthought. You were the threat. That night, we updated Operation Gold Bow. Because now it wasn't just about pettiness or revenge or even justice. It was about truth. We compiled everything, Serena's fraud, Mom's cover-ups, Dad's rage texts, and we added the piece de resistance, a notarized paternity test. Rob had done one years ago without telling anyone. He'd held on to it. Just in case. It was time. On January 6th, at precisely 7 p.m., I scheduled a mass email to go out to everyone, family, extended relatives, church groups, school alumni boards, even the mayor's office, because my mom once bragged about being on a city planning subcommittee. Subject line? A family tradition of lies. Inside. An open letter from me, Leo. Screenshots, records, and quotes. A timeline of everything. The paternity test. a photo of me as a toddler in Rob's arms. And, at the very end, a picture of my mug, with a gold bow tied around the handle. Reactions were swift. By 7:04, Mom had tried to unsend 6 emails. By 7:10, Serena's Instagram went dark. By 7:13, Dad tried calling Rob 3 times. And at 7:17, I got a single text from Mom. "How dare you?" No apology. No denial. No defense. Just pure, impotent fury. I didn't respond. Instead, Rob and I went out to his porch. Cracked open 2 beers. Looked out over his sad little backyard with its tilted fence and dead bird bath. "I feel like I should be more upset," I said. "You grieve before the fire, kid," he replied. "Afterward you rebuild." "So what now?" I asked. He grinned. "You still got that mug?" I held it up. "Good," he said. "Because tomorrow? We go get you a car. One you pick. One you earn. And this time? No bows. Just keys." We walked into the dealership like 2 fugitives from a family sitcom gone wrong. Rob wore his signature flannel, and I brought the mug, partly for the bit, mostly because at this point, it felt like a war trophy. The salesman tried to talk me into a Lexus. I smiled. Absolutely not. We left with a gently used but incredibly reliable Subaru Outback. Midnight blue, low miles, clean history. Nothing flashy. No chrome finishes. Just something that worked, and more importantly, something mine. I drove it off the lot with the windows down, mug in the cup holder, Rob whistling along to Fleetwood Mac on the stereo. There was no gold bow, no fake surprise scream, no parents clapping like they were in a commercial. Just wind in my face and a feeling I hadn't known since childhood, freedom. Back at Rob's, I started packing. Not because I was leaving, because I was staying, properly. He offered me the extra room permanently. Said I could save money, get on my feet, maybe go back to school if I wanted. I could finally breathe. And then the knock came. I opened the door, and there she was, Mom. She looked older. Not in the graceful aging way she loved to fake with filters, but in the "life is catching up to you" way. The newsletter had wrecked her reputation in every social circle that mattered to her. Serena had gone radio silent, and Dad, well, I didn't ask. She held a tin of cookies. Store-bought. Price tag still stuck to the bottom. "I thought maybe we could talk," she said, smile tight as a drawstring. I stood in the doorway. "About what?" Her eyes scanned the room behind me. "I didn't mean for it to go this far. I didn't think it mattered. You always seemed fine." That word. Fine. The word people use when they don't want to look deeper. "I wasn't fine," I said. "I was quiet. There's a difference." Her face tensed. "So what, now you punish us with lies?" Nothing I said was a lie. She looked at me, really looked, and for the first time maybe ever, realized she didn't recognize me anymore. "You can't just rewrite history, Leo." I leaned against the doorframe. "No. But I can stop playing the role you wrote for me." She opened her mouth like she had a comeback ready, then shut it. I let the silence hang. "You should go," I added. Her jaw tightened. She handed me the tin anyway, like a prop she didn't know what to do with anymore. Then she turned and walked to her car. No hug. No tearful apology. Just silence. That night, I threw the cookies out. But I didn't cry. I didn't shake or pace or punch a wall like I used to when I got pushed too far. I just sat at the kitchen table with Rob, split a bag of pretzels, and told him I wanted to learn how to grill something other than toast. The next few months? Quiet. Peaceful. I got a job at a small publishing firm, started writing again. Rob helped me build a bookshelf. I stopped checking my phone for family messages. Serena tried to revive her influencer brand under a new name, but let's just say the internet doesn't forget. One day in March, a letter arrived. No return address. Inside, a photo. Me, baby version, being held by Rob in a hospital room. On the back, in Mom's handwriting. "You looked happiest in his arms." Maybe that should have told me something. No signature. No demand for forgiveness. Just truth. I put the photo on my desk. Right next to the mug. A little later, Rob walked in, holding 2 coffees and a pack of screws. "Want to help me fix that old fence?" he asked. "Only if I can be in charge of the level." Deal. We stepped outside. It was early spring. The kind of air that smells like second chances. No more bows. No more stage surprises. Just me, finally living a life that felt real. And you know what? Life isn't fair. But I am.